Hi everybody, I'm back. I'm gonna try something that I have not seen anybody else use with the pearlized paints, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out, if it's gonna turn out, or anything. That's why I'm just using a small little 8x10 canvas, and this is actually my worst technique that I've ever tried doing. It never works for me, but I did go to a home improvement store, got some, um, oh, I forget the name of these now, but they're like little things that you put plaster on and stuff. But I'm going to try to do a swipe. So basically, I'm going to pour lines on my canvas, and I'm going to take this thing here, and I'm actually going to use some silicone oil and put it on there, and pick a color and put it on there with the color and see if that works. Again, it's a total experiment. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and give it a shot and see what happens. So I'm just going to go ahead and make some really small lines. I'm going to try to use some colors in between my pearlized paints. And I'm just going and making lines. I'm trying to put them like on top of each other, the different lines, but I'm leaving this space up here blank, so that way when I do the swipe, I have some place to start with whatever color I choose. Okay, so I have one pearlized paint down, and I think it's primary sienna is what I think it's called. I'm trying to read my handwriting here. I don't want these lines too thick. That second line was a little bit too thick, but I also don't want them too thin. So I can always go back in and put more paint in, but you can't take more paint out. I don't know how these pearlized paints are going to work with other colors other than the purple and the black. So again, it's another part of the experiment. And I don't even know if I have enough colors to even go through one at a time, because I'm just starting my Amsterdam collection. Because these paints are not cheap. I'm losing track of what pearlized paints I have on there too. I'm doing real good. Okay, that was the last of the pearlized paints I have. So I'm just going to go through with all the other paints that I have and going to start making some thicker lines. Because I don't have enough room to go through all the pearlized paints again. And this is just some white. It says not pearlized. And I think I'm going to swipe it with black. I'm not going to put anything down here because once I swipe it, all the paint's going to come down to that side anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some of my black on here, just on the end of it. Let's see if I'm coordinated enough to do this. Okay. And then I'm going to add a few drops of silicone oil on here. And the purpose of silicone oil is actually to produce more cells. So you don't need a whole lot. Okay. And I'm going to take my putty knife here and put it on the corner and ever so lightly just glide it across the canvas. Should always make sure your bottles are out of the way. Unfortunately, I did not do that. So let me go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and tilt it, but you can see all the cells coming out there, and that's from the silicone oil. I'm just going to torch it real quick. I'm going to go ahead and tilt it so that way this corner over here actually gets paint and I don't have this weird funky line then. That turquoise sure did take over though. It'll definitely be interesting to see what it looks like once it's fully dry, because anybody who's seen any of my videos knows the pearlized paints actually don't show up as the colors until they're dry. Just making sure I get all my edges here. Gonna run this back down again, just because I like those cells. Let's see if I can spread them out a little bit more. You get this amazing lacing on here, these really gorgeous cells. I'll try to remember to take a picture when it dries for you, so you can see if any of the pearlized paints actually came out, which I'm hoping they do. But only time will tell. But I definitely like this swipe. It definitely worked better with the putty knife versus any other swipe that I've tried. I just gotta make sure that my paints are out of the way.